Hello everybody, this is Tap for Boba, and today I'm going to do a bit of a rant style video about the state of the Pokemon market. Just to kind of give a bit of a background. I've been collecting myself for 9 years, starting around 2016. Pokemon Go actually got me back into it. A couple of times went to Target and saw Pokemon cards, and I remembered back in my youth when I didn't have any money and I really wanted these Pokemon cards. Now as an adult with adult money, started collecting and kind of never went back to it. So kind of bit of a background of how the market was like when I first started collecting. I started around I believe it was the Steam Siege era, somewhere around there. The Breakpoint, Generations, Fates Collide, and Steam Siege era. It was kind of hard to tell because back then, when you go to Target, there was a wall of blister packs. And so many packs were there. So many different sets were there on the wall because they were just not being sold. I remember being confused over Breakpoint and Breakthrough. Wasn't really sure what they were. And then I remember seeing stuff like Primal Clash, Ancient Origins, and then Generations came out. That was pretty iconic, only because there was literally an entire wall of those Generations Elite Trainer boxes that just sat there. And then Evolutions was kind of like a really, really good set, and I think that brought a lot of people back in because that was a reprint of base set, and I thought that was a really great set. There was never really a time where Pokemon got really crazy. 2021 when COVID happened. Now, when COVID happened, I guess everyone got those stimmy checks and they had a lot of time. And then everyone got into their hobbies. And I guess a lot of people had Pokemon as their hobby and everything just skyrocketed. We now know that it's a bubble due to various factors. Logan Paul was part of it. That kind of blew everything up. So around 2021, that's when everything got really hard to find. Targets were cleared out, Walmarts were cleared out, scalpers galores were hunting these stores. People were waiting at Targets for the distributor to show up. Yeah, it was crazy times. And I believe the sets that were involved were Vivid Voltage. Champion's Path was semi hard to find, but everything before that, like Darkness Ablaze, Rebel Clash, they were relatively tame. Now after Vivid Voltage, Shining Fates, Battle Styles, around that time, the Pokemon Company acknowledged that there was a shortage. Demand was higher than what they were printing, so they had come out with a newsletter saying that hey, we hear you. Products are hard to find. We are making the printers go burr, and we are going to print more cards so everyone could get it. It took a little bit of time for them to get everything settled. It's never as easy as pushing a button on a machine to make things print. It took them a little bit of time, but they did reprint everything. And by everything, I mean everything. Like Vivid. Vivid was a $300 booster box. At one point it crashed all the way down to, I believe, 80. Battle Styles, they had, I think, 4 waves of reprints, something insane like that. Not to mention Chilling Reign, Fusion, Brilliant, Astral, Lost Origin, Silver Tempest. So basically the end of the Sword and Shield series, Pokemon reprinted the bejeebus out of these sets. Prices came crashing down like crazy. So ever since I started collecting, booster boxes were basically $85 to $90 per. You could get them easily. You want a full case times 6. Back then, MSRP was $144. Obviously, nobody paid MSRP back then. Like I said, boxes were anywhere between $85 to $95. First couple of Scarlet Violet sets, Base, Paldea, Obsidian, they'd come out and kind of did nothing. Something changed when 151 came out. That announcement got a lot of people back into the series, and for the first time in a while, everyone was like, okay, so these are great. And then so I feel like that's when a lot of people got introduced to the idea of illustration rares, SIRs. Around that time too, I believe when Paradox came out, Pokemon had acknowledged the fact that, okay, the market is not doing great. It's kind of flatlined. So they were going to reduce print runs. Temporal came out and did kind of the same thing. But then when Twilight came out, it was a little bit harder to find, but it wasn't crazy. Stellar Crown was kind of there too, was the tipping point. And then when Surging came out, I was surprised that Surging came out the gate 150 a box. First time ever, almost hitting the MSRP mark. Destined Rivals, I believe that came out as a $250, 250, 240 per box set, and then now Mega Evolution pre-sales are going for 300, more or less. So for someone like an old fart like me who's been collecting for a long time, it's a little bit hard to adjust to. You know, I'm used to getting stuff for under $100 per box, but you gotta adjust or you're just gonna be left behind. What does that mean? So with all that being said, I have a little bit of a good news. Pokemon has come out around the Prismatic time, around the time that Prismatic was released, that they are once again acknowledging the fact that they are not printing enough and they have vowed to catch up on printing. So what have they done and what does that mean? What they have done, they have printed so much Prismatic. It's not out in the market yet, but Sam's Club alone, Pokemon has printed 8.7 million Prismatic packs in total. 8.7 million Prismatic packs about to be released into the market. 8.7 million. That's a lot of packs. Now, as we all know, Prismatic came out the door shooting straight up because everyone believed it was the next Evolving Skies, and we see how Evolving Skies are doing. And in a sense, they're right. Prismatic is really, really in high demand. Thankfully, it has come down since then. Everything is slowly coming down, but it's still by no means anywhere near MSRP. And the demand for Pokemon still has not come down yet. And look at 151. How many times have Blooming Waters been released, and how many reprints of 151 have they given out, and it's still going crazy? I don't think I've ever seen Blooming Waters box for under $100. As of this recording, Blooming Waters market is still 110. MSRP is about $59.99. So the craze for it, the demand for the product has not gone down. And not to mention, everyone is very excited for Mega Evolutions. I know I am, and I know that everyone's excited for Megas to come back. Arguably the best power-up gimmick that Pokemon has released. I did not like the Dynamax or Gigantamax gimmick. The Terrestrial was kind of cool, but it was more for, I feel like, strategy for the video games rather than a card game. So I personally am very excited to see Mega comes back. And a side note, I find it kind of weird that the Scarlet Violet sets ended on SV10 with Destined Rivals. For the longest time, they all come in blocks of 12. So, you know, SV12, Silver Tempest, that was the last of the block. And then there will always be a new game announced before the block was over. I'm surprised that Mega Evolution is its own block and a new game has not been announced yet, but that's okay. I'm okay with not having a set schedule. Everything's pushed back as long as the games were good. Personally, Scarlet Violet I thought was a really great game, but just performance issues and just all the bugginess of it all, I kind of wish they took some time to polish it a little bit more. I hate the fact that you go to a store, it's just a pull-up menu instead of actually going into a store. Just made everything feel kind of empty, shortcut taken, and not really polished. Mega Evolution, maybe it'll have like 4 to 6 sets before they hit the new block and then a new series get announced. That's fine by me. That's 6 sets of Mega Evolution cards. I'm down for that. So a lot of products are about to enter the market. Prismatic is about to enter the market. Surging Sparks just entered the market with the Costco drops, and that brought the prices down from 110 for a Surging Sparks ETB down to about 75. It's still not the MSRP, but at least that's a nice big chunky decline in price, which is good. People can now get the what people like to call the butthole Pikachu, and I think it's a great card. It's really colorful. Now people have a chance to get it. Twilight Masquerade is on its way. I believe GameStop is about to release a bunch of ETBs on that one. I know Target did a release a couple of weeks ago. So what is the moral of the story? What's the moral of this long rant that I just had? Well, last time Pokemon came out and said that they're gonna print enough product, they printed enough product. They fulfilled their promise. It took a while. It took, I think, 2 years, but they did it. They printed enough, drove the prices back down, and carried on, and they adjusted as necessary. I believe that we're starting to see the beginnings of that push down. That's why they're going directly to the big box stores. I don't think I mentioned this. Pokemon is not selling to distributors as much because distributors are taking advantage of the market price, and they are raising the prices that they are selling to local game stores. So that's not a good way to lower prices, because game stores will have to carry that cost, the elevated cost, to the customers. But if we're gonna sell that, MSRP or under MSRP for these for stores like Sam's Club and Costco, then that's what's gonna put that big downward force for the prices. Now, something to learn from the last time that Pokemon had done this: be patient. Do not FOMO. Do not buy market price. If you're able to find something close or at MSRP, or heck, even below MSRP, that's a great deal. You should buy it. But do not think that Prismatic Evolution's booster bundle is gonna stay at 65 forever. That product will come down in price, very likely. I can't predict the future, but with 8.7 million packs about to hit the market, I do believe that price is gonna come down. There's no telling when the market is gonna kind of take a downturn overall, but as of right now, that is how the market is. There might be a different market cycle and a downturn that will change that. And I do miss being able to buy, booster boxes and booster cases for about 100. I really don't think we're going to go back to that, but I do think that at the very least, we're going to see booster boxes come out at or around MSRP price. I know that it probably won't happen for Mega Evolution, seeing how even GameStop is selling it at $200, and God knows how many they're gonna get. The secondary market is at 300 right now, 280, 300. I don't know if Pokemon can actually keep up with the demand. They have announced that Mega Evolution is going to be in 2 waves, which usually means that they are having trouble keeping up. They can't get all the product out at once. But honestly, we'll see what happens. But I'm here to tell you, whenever Pokemon says they're going to print enough for the market, they're going to do it. I'm not sure what sets are going to be effective. We all know Prismatic might see a downturn right now. Destined Rivals is flying up right now. We don't know if there's going to be a reprint of that set. I hope so. I do love that set. White Flare Black Bolt just come out. We'll see what that does. Everyone, just be patient. Buy at MSRP. That's always the goal, or under MSRP. The reprint is coming, so hope that helps you guys make your decision on what to buy, if you have any other questions or concerns, or if there's any other videos you would like me to make talking about the market, leave it in the comment down below. I'll get to it when I can. And I hope no matter what you do, you have a good time collecting. This is Tap for Boba. Thank you for hearing my rant.